Okay. Do you belong? Says little praise. Remember for every high school days I see. Return to thee, we love and love. Strong. In our song.
Thank you, students and Ms. Singer. I would also like to thank Mr. Schmelter and the Deer Park High School Band for providing the music for today's ceremony. At this time, I would like to introduce the senior class president of the class of 2025, Tanika Sichter, who will be attending Stony Brook University in the fall.
Give me a second, guys. Okay. Ooh, sorry. Good evening, faculty, family, friends, and the beautiful, brave, tired, chaotic, but my dearest, remarkable class of 2025. Before I start, I would like to do a little shout out to my parents. Thank you, and I love you, Amu, Baba, and Kampu. Thank you for always being there and making every end meet so I can stand here today and make your hearts full with pride and joy. And now, for my dear class, I've spent weeks trying to write this speech. And every time I'd start typing, I'd stop. Because how do you sum up 1,000 little memories, 100 hallway conversations, and 4 years of growing into just a few minutes? I stand here today with a heart full of gratitude, pride, and if I'm being completely honest, a little heartbreak. Because yes, this is a moment of celebration, but it's also a moment of remembering everything it took to get here. We came into high school not knowing much. Some of us were quiet, some loud, some terrified, some pretending not to be. And we found each other slowly through awkward icebreakers, group projects, cafeteria chaos, and shared stress over things that, honestly, we probably won't even remember in 10 years. But what we will remember are the people. We'll remember the friends who stuck by us when things got hard, the teachers who saw something in us when we didn't see it ourselves, the mornings when just seeing one familiar face in the hallway made the day feel bearable. We didn't just survive high school. We survived pandemics, protests, political chaos, climate anxiety, algorithm, college apps, identity crisis, and 14 different school schedule changes. We survived online classes where half of us forgot to mute ourselves and the other half wished we could mute the world. We have survived group projects, cafeteria pizza, and at least 3 mental breakdowns in the bathroom hallway before first period. Or maybe that was just me. But more seriously, many of us survived loss, real loss. We lost time. We lost birthdays and prom. We lost that feeling of invincibility that young people are supposed to have. Some of us lost people we loved, parents, grandparents, friends, classmates, and we didn't always get the chance to say goodbye. Some seats here today are empty, not just the physical ones, but the ones that will always be in our hearts. There are names we'll never hear during roll call again. Laughter that used to fill our hallways now lives only in memory. And I think it's okay. Actually, no. It's important to take a moment and feel that sadness, to sit in it, to honor it. Because grief, as weird and heavy as it is just love with nowhere to go. And there's been a lot of love in these past 4 years. Love in the way we showed up for each other when the world felt too heavy. Love in the ridiculous inside jokes we made just to get through boring classes. Sorry, Mr. Carney. Love in the late night text of, hey, you okay? Love in the people who never gave up on us, even when we wanted to give up on ourselves. We learned a lot in high school, some of it academic, some of it not so much, like how to fake your way through a book you've never read before, or how to write an entire essay 5 minutes before it's due, using pure panic and spell check, and perhaps a sweet little magical touch from ChatGPT. But what we really learned was how to keep going. We learned how to rebuild ourselves after heartbreak. We learned how to reconnect after isolation. We learned how to sit in silence and still feel something worth staying for. The world right now, it's a weird place. It's loud, it's divided, it's uncertain. And I won't sugarcoat that. We're graduating into a future full of question marks. And yet, we're also graduating with something rare and powerful: perspective. It's easy to get caught up in what's next: college, jobs, whatever future we're chasing. But I hope we don't rush too quickly. I hope we sit with this feeling, as sad and heavy as it is, and appreciate just how lucky we were to have something this hard to let go of. Because that's what this class is. We have seen how fragile everything is, that things can change overnight, that people can disappear, that a simple, I miss you, or I miss you, can be the most important thing you say. There's a strange silence that comes with the end of something beautiful, a kind of quiet sadness in realizing that we won't all be together like this again. No more quick, good luck, whispers before a test. No more after-school hangouts. No more laughing in the back of class when we really shouldn't have been laughing. So let's not waste our time pretending to be invincible. Let's be real instead. Let's be the generation that admits we're scared, but still shows up. Let's be the generation that listens before we judge. Let's be the generation that puts connection above competition. And yes, let's be the generation that finally figures out how to stop climate change and, more importantly, how to fix the Wi-Fi in school buildings. To my fellow graduates, if you need to, hug your friends a little longer. Take one last look around, then step into what's next with your whole heart. Because we were lucky enough to have something worth missing. And that means we're ready to build something worth becoming. Class of 2025, we are not perfect. We are messy, emotional, sarcastic, overly caffeinated, meme-addicted survivors of an era that will be studied in history books by kids who won't believe half of what we went through. But we are here, alive, together, still laughing, still crying, and still trying. So tonight, as we turn the page on this chapter, I want to leave you with this. Keep holding on to each other. Keep texting your friends. I made it home safe. Keep checking in on the strong ones. Keep making space for grief and for joy to coexist. Keep choosing kindness, even when the world tells you to be hard. And if nothing else, keep showing up. Because life is short and also long and weird and wonderful and tragic. And sometimes it gives you cafeteria cookies that are surprisingly good. And sometimes it gives you a moment like this. A moment where we stand at the edge of everything we've been through and everything we're about to become. And we get to say, we were here. We lived, we loved, we mattered. So, for the last time, my dear seniors and my dear class of 2025, thank you for being my people. I love you guys so, so, so much. And I promise to forever and always be your biggest cheerleader. Now let's get out there and make something beautiful out of this class. Thank you.
To introduce the salutatorian of the class of 2025, Adib Sheikh, who will be attending Stony Brook University in the fall.
Good evening, everyone. Right now, we could talk about this long-awaited moment. I mean, come on, it's our graduation. Some of us feel nervous, some of us feel accomplished, some of us feel hesitant to say goodbye, and some may feel all of the above. Standing here with all of you, I reflect on the journey, the sacrifices, the doubts, the quiet perseverance. And I'm reminded that a sense of achievement is often born in the moments when we're unsure, but keep going anyway. Being named the salutatorian of my class feels like the natural reward for all the effort. After all, I spent 4 unforgettable years toward earning this achievement. And yet, when I first found out, I didn't feel what I expected. There wasn't this overwhelming rush of pride or excitement, or even a sense of fulfillment. Instead, I felt something heavier: guilt. It caught me off guard. While I believe I earned this, I also couldn't stop thinking about the people who never even had the chance to try. Somewhere across the world, maybe in a classroom turned to rubble, there's someone who's just as capable, just as determined, but who didn't get to finish their homework last night. They had dreams, they had aspirations, But their story took a different turn because of calamities beyond their control. They don't have the luxury of waking up and knowing what they're going to do next, planning their day, or deciding what to eat for dinner. Some don't even know if their own bedroom is safe, if they even have one at all. Over here, we have routines, schedules, resources to help us navigate through the day. It makes me reflect on the blessings I have and how others face such unimaginable hardships in their lives. It made me realize that this moment, this stage, this title, this ceremony is not just a celebration of effort. It's a reminder of fortune, of circumstance, of the privilege we often forget we have. I think about my own family, where we came from, and how far we've come. My parents emigrated from Bangladesh not to chase wealth, but to build stability. My father grew up without a father and without much else. He came to America with ambition, and like many immigrants, he started from the bottom. When he finally earned the qualifications for a white-collar job, 9/11 occurred. And like so many others who shared his name, his skin tone, or his faith, he lost the opportunity. Some of my earliest memories are in a crowded apartment where two families shared one space. But even then, he never complained. He just kept going, not for himself, but for us, for me. My mom's strength was no less profound. While she had a more comfortable upbringing, life tested her in ways that I still cannot fully understand. By her 20s, she had lost both her parents, multiple siblings, and her beloved nephew. Grief became a shadow that followed her, but it never stopped her from standing tall beside my father to give me and my sister the life that they could not imagine for themselves. And that life, this education, this platform, this future, is something I'll never take for granted. That's not to say everything's been easy. High school came with its own trials. One of the hardest moments I faced was having my faith questioned. There were rumors, there were assumptions. Some people have said my faith wasn't real, that had been pushed onto me. And I'll be honest, those words stung. It wasn't just what they said. It was the way they made me second guess if I had been doing everything right. But while they whispered, I was praying. While they doubted, I was believing. And while they misjudged, I was finding strength in the very thing that they dismissed. My faith in Islam does not need defending, but deserves to be recognized. Today, I'll say this. It's real, and it's mine. It is one of the reasons why I'm standing here, even with the judgment I faced. Of course, along with my faith, there were the teachers who pushed me, the friends who encouraged me, and most importantly, my sister. I'll admit something. She graduated number 3 in her class back in 2020. As soon as I entered high school, she set the standard for me. Little did she know she was helping me with our little sibling competition. I'm happy that I went up to her, even if it's just by one. Sorry, Tasfia. But in all seriousness, I owe her more than I can put into words. She guided me when I felt lost, cheered me on when I wanted to quit, and believed in me even when I couldn't believe in myself. Without her, this moment would not be mine. And so, to my fellow graduates, I hope we all take a moment to reflect. Yes, celebrate. You've earned it. But don't forget how we got here, not just through effort, but through the sacrifices of others, through the teachers who cared, the parents who stayed up late night worrying, and those who were an ear to us whenever we needed the most. We were given the gift of living in a place where education isn't a risk, but a right. Each of us here has faced a moment we thought we wouldn't overcome, whether it be a failure, a fear, or a silence that felt too loud. But we persevered. That's what brought us here. It's human nature to strive for more, to see what's just out of reach and wish it were ours. Instead of dwelling on the absence of something, whatever it is, let's work to earn what we seek. I'm proud of my parents, and I want to make a promise to them now. I'll never stop working hard. I'll keep making you proud, and I'll never let your sacrifices go to waste. And here, right now, you may feel accomplished, nervous, excited, and maybe you feel guilt too. But we should not allow that guilt to overshadow our responsibilities to something greater. We're not just the future, we're living proof that the dreams of those before us live on through us. So let's not waste that. Let's work hard, let's stay humble, and let's never forget how fortunate we are to have the chance to dream at all. We can be the generation that turns privilege into purpose. Thank you.
It is with distinct pride that I introduce the valedictorian of the Deer Park High School class of 2025, who will be attending Carnegie Mellon University this fall, Reza Zarakh.
Thank you, Mr. Cobb. Good evening, Mr. Cummings, Mr. Cobb, esteemed members of the board, respected teachers, diligent groundskeepers, proud parents, and supportive siblings gathered here today. Thank you to everyone here for making Deer Park High School an incredible place to learn and grow as people. Without your efforts and assistance, we would not be seated here today. My fellow classmates, teammates, and friends, after these past 4 years, we will now bring forth a new chapter in our lives, dedicated to the propositions for which we stand for. Regardless of who you are, we've all had challenges standing in our way of what we want. How about those geometry proofs? I suppose just knowing that a triangle looks like a triangle isn't good enough in today's world. Now we need a 12-step formula to prove it. And how can we forget about float building? We worked so hard on that Spider-Man float, only for the judges to place the juniors over us. As we sat there in our homecoming in disbelief at how we were second to the juniors, how did we handle the setback? Well, the answer isn't the same for everyone. Some chose to congratulate our rivals, while others simply said nothing. In any case, we thought that more could have come out of this. What are we left with? Well, we're left with a half cadence. Now, if you don't know, a half cadence is a musical device that's held like a pause mid-sentence. It builds up a musical piece, only for it to be left on a cliffhanger. We wait in anticipation for the next thing to happen, and then what happened to the rest of the sentence? There has to be more, right? Well then, go complete it. Maybe not this example, but you can certainly complete whatever it is that you pursue. A half-hearted effort at school, at work, in sports, with your leisure activities, leaves you at a half cadence. You're left with a feeling of being incomplete, not only for yourself, you leave others wanting more. You leave yourselves wanting more, wondering what would have happened if you had just taken that chance and gone through with the opportunity. Now, I know that giving you a speech about music doesn't make any sense. I'm more of a math and science person than a music person. I'm not in a band and I don't play any instruments. But I'm doing this because I always wanted to know what made music so great. We hear music every day, whether it's on the radio, in the hallways, or at home. I felt I was missing something because I couldn't figure out why we love music so much. This was my half cadence. To resolve this half cadence, I took Mr. Abrams' AP Music Theory class. For me, that class was very difficult.